Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we're reading for Leo. Let's see what we've got. Before I do start this reading, it's the second time that I've filmed it. The first time went a bit dark. So I do want to say, we're going into the Christmas period. It's, long dark days, a lot of pressure from families, financial pressure. If you're really feeling it, if you're feeling like you're struggling, and the days are dark in more than one way, do reach out to friends, family, medical professionals, advice lines. Get the support and help you need if you're finding it difficult at this time of year. Yeah, so I'm going to re-record and we're going to see what comes through. But a bit of a heads up that the first time I tried to do your reading, it was a bit of a difficult one. And I don't want to shy away from that. I want to respect that we're all people. We all have phases in our life that can be challenging, but I just want to make sure that I'm communicating the messages that are coming through clearly, and I don't feel like I did it effectively the first time. So rapture. Let's see what else we get for you. Leos for Friday, please. What do we have here? Banana. Anything else, please, for Leos? Hi, Bess. Sorry, she is in nuisance mode. So, disaster. Oh, Leos. What's going on? Anything else for my lovely Leos? Can we get something a little bit brighter, a little bit more hopeful for my Leos, please? Like I say, I don't want to gloss over it. If warm, there we go. So if I don't want to gloss over things, if this is a challenging time for you, I think it's important to recognize that and validate that. I think acknowledging when we're going through difficult periods is important. It's part of the process of accepting that we need help, or accepting that it is a challenging time, and how are we going to handle that? Right, we're gonna have the cat. We're gonna have the cat here. So okay, Beth, you're the star of the show. I mean, it is the Leo reading. Leo's all about cats, so maybe you have like an emotional support animal. Maybe you have maybe animals are particularly beneficial for you at this time. Okay, let's get you a song. So Leos, lovely Leos. Can I get a song, please, for my Leos today? Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus. Right, the thing about that song, Teenage Dirtbag, the singer's beating himself up. He's kind of saying, he feels awkward. He feels like he's not worthy of this girl, right? He's kind of saying, I'm really weird. I'm just a teenage dirtbag. She doesn't give a damn about me. But then at the end of the song, she comes over and says, hey, I've got 2 tickets to this gig. Do you want to come with me? I'm a teenage dirtbag too. So I want to say, are you putting people on pedestals and comparing yourself to others and seeing yourself as inferior in some sort of way? Don't do that, Leo. Like, you are awesome. You are unique, not weird, unique and awesome. And people are going to come along and they're going to value that in you, okay? Just because perhaps certain people don't see our unique like benefits, like, just because people don't appreciate us sometimes doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with us. It just means that they're not the right person for you. So the right person will come along, and I always say everybody's a little bit weird. Everybody has something that's quirky or unique about them. Everybody's got something that's strange about them. Every single person, right? And that's what makes humans great. If we were all exactly the same, if we were all perfect, we'd all be really boring. We'd be androids, right? We wouldn't be humans. But humans are quirky. Humans are fallible. That's what makes us real, right? That's what makes us interesting. That's what makes humanity interesting. So I want to say, if you're putting somebody up on a pedestal and you think they're perfect, the secret is they're not. You just haven't worked out what their specific brand of weird is yet. But you will one day, right? Everybody's a teenage dirtbag. So, yeah, Beth, what's Mummy doing? Hey? Why is Mummy playing with cards and not stroking you right now? You want to help? And do you want to pick a card for Leo? Which one? This one. Is this the card for Leo? You've got Hathor, celebration, a rejuvenation, and gratitude. I'm just going to pick another one. I'm going to shuffle. Don't attack me, Beth. I think another message as well that was coming through in that first reading was the darkness, the blackness, whatever that is for you, Bess. It's not always bad, right? It's not always bad. Like my Bessie here, she just gave me a nibble. She hasn't pierced the skin. she's in a bit of a mood lately. And maybe that, again, anything that happens in a reading is part of the reading. So sometimes people are in a mood. Sometimes people can be a bit grouchy. You know, sometimes people can fire warning shots. But she's not really hurting me, you know. And I don't know what this is. I don't know why she's been acting this way, because she used to bite us a lot when she first moved in. And then she became increasingly more affectionate. And then she's kind of gone back into a biting phase. So I'm wondering if maybe she's a little bit poorly. Maybe she's got something, you know, going on that I don't understand, that's making her a little bit more irritable than she'd normally be. But we still love you. Hey? We're going to figure it out. So maybe that's, like I say, maybe that's part of your reading. No. I don't know, Bess. She's rubbing up against me now. Do you want to go and lie on the bed? Do you want to go and have a sleep? Maybe you just need a sleep, Leo. Leo for Friday, Leo for Friday. Anything else, Leo for Friday? Archangel Raphael, intuition, health and healing. Yeah, look after your health, especially mental health. Environmental abundance, guardian of the earth. Maybe spend some time in nature. That may be helpful for you. I'm just noticing the greens and the blues here as well. Relationship healing, calm harmony. That's Archangel Raguel. And Mother Mary, purity of heart, conception and faith. So you've got Archangel Raphael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Raguel, Mother Mary, and Hathor. So maybe one of those deities means something to you. Resurrection, magic, and fertility with Goddess Isis on the bottom there. So needing to heal, needing space to perhaps heal physically. Perhaps some of you have had a bout of illness, like physical illness. Needing time to heal, needing kind of nurturing, needing positive kind of earthy energies, and kind of watch what you eat as well. Make sure you're eating things that are healthy and nutritious, you know, salads, even though it's not salad season, you know, healthy soups. Make sure you're trying to get the vegetables in your diet, even if you're not really feeling it. I was having that conversation with a Leo in work, actually. We both had a bit of a tummy bug and we were saying all we want to do is eat carbohydrates. But it's like, you do need those nutrients, right? You need the vitamins and minerals. So whatever way you can get those, even if it's like, you know, a hot tea with a slice of orange in, or, you know, try and sneak in a few fresh vegetables, or, you know, even not fresh, into your diet. But nurture your body, heal your body, be careful of what you're putting into your body, and be careful of your environment as well. You know, is there anything toxic in your environment? At the moment, my wall has a little bit of mold starting to show on it, and I need to get the bleach on that and clean that up. But even bleach as well is a harsh chemical. So, you know, do you need to open your windows more? Do you need to add more plants to your environment? Just be wary of your environment and try and bring more nature into it, and just be careful of anything that's kind of toxic in your physical environment as well. And that can include people. Sometimes people can be toxic. So really getting you know, the healing qualities of nature. Allow Earth's abundance to heal you, whether that's taking walks, you know, walks where there's lots of trees, whatever that is for you, spending time in your garden, spending time with your animals, reconnecting with nature and the abundance that nature has to offer, including, you know, the healthy food. You know, you've literally got banana as one of your words. Maybe eating bananas is helpful. I've been craving meat. I'm a vegetarian, but I've been craving sausages and kind of burgers and things, which I don't even like burgers. But there must be something in it. I think it's like the fats, because I've been a bit unwell, I'm sorry to talk about myself, but the thing is, anything that I talk about in a reading is part of the reading. So if it's coming to my mind, it may apply to one of you watching. You know, some of you may need to hear it. So again, that's my respect for nature. I don't want to eat living beings. I don't want to eat animals. So being poorly and feeling quite malnourished, you know, I've not been getting the vitamins and minerals, because when you feel sick, all you want to do is eat kind of like carbohydrates and things. And even that, I've not been able to stomach much. So I've lost a lot of weight, and in a bad way, right? In a malnourished kind of way. And it's difficult to kind of start eating again. You know, your body gets used to not eating enough. And you have to kind of reintroduce food. So I definitely think that my body is craving fat, so I've been wanting sausages and burgers, which I can't eat. I don't like it. So I ended up with like corn sausages, which is high in protein. But I think it's fats, because I've also been craving bananas and avocado as well, which are very fatty vegetables. So yeah, are you having cravings? Even if it's for cravings that you don't normally have, if your body's craving something, and it can even be like, you know, physical cravings, like intimacy cravings, you know, if your body's really craving something, pay attention to that. What is your body telling you it needs? And how can you have that in a healthy way, right? Okay, what do we have for Leo, please? We have the King of Cups. Beautiful star, love it. That's emotional control, emotional depth, community, nice. Okay, I'm seeing the High Priestess and the Chariot, but we'll keep going, see what else you get. They're telling me to switch decks, which is interesting to switch decks in the middle of a reading, but we will. Okay, I can't take that many cards. You're going to have to be more clear. I've got space for one card. There we go. Nine of Cups, happiness. Yeah, okay, things are looking up, Leo. This is a much better reading. I think the previous reading was just kind of the groundwork for me to understand how some of you have been feeling. If some of you have been feeling quite heavy and dark and ill, and you know, a bit down in the dumps as well. So I think that was just me understanding where you're at. There was something as well. Now this is your emotion, so this is looking really good. Okay, you're going to be okay, I want to say. The last reading was telling me that some of you are kind of putting a fake smile on your face, you know, being a bit of a clown, being an entertainer, you know, distracting people when things have been quite hard. It's almost like you're the one that gets everybody through the difficult moments, but actually you're suffering too. So it's almost like by playing the fool, by, you know, putting on the fake smile for everybody else, to get everybody else, it's like with that King of Cups there as well, it's like keeping your feelings hidden, you know, keeping things to yourself, keeping things trapped inside for the benefit of others. With the Three of Cups, this is like your friends, family, the people around you, co-workers. So yeah, it was like you were self-sacrificing in a way, putting on a happy face to get everybody else through a difficult situation, when actually you were hurting too, right? And you needed the time for you, right? You needed the time to kind of go off on your own, or have those people comfort you, but it's like you didn't want to burden other people by it. So I did have this light and dark thing going on for you. Performers and entertainers like Robin Williams and Robbie Williams came up, who both have that light and shadow thing. They both play the clown, they both play the comic, but deep inside, you know, they've definitely had some mental health issues and some darkness there. So acknowledge that. And it's okay. I want to say again, King of Cups, you know, they keep the feelings hidden. I think it's okay to, especially if there's children around you, right? If something's going on in your environment, and it's, you know, perhaps something that's quite difficult emotionally for everybody to deal with. It feels like there's more people involved, and you're the one going, hey, let's get up, you know, let's make lemonade out of lemons, you know. It's like your buoyancy. They're kind of giving me buoyancy, you know, like buoys, like in the ocean. They're kind of like the markers in the ocean that get like big orange buoys, right? Do you know what I mean? B-O-U-Y. Yeah, it's like you're buoying everybody up. You're the buoyancy, like keeping everybody else afloat, you're getting the ship. imagery coming through as well. It's like you're the one keeping the ship afloat. You're the one keeping everybody on board. You're the one keeping you're the one getting everybody safely to shore. It's like it's kind of like you've got this attitude of, like, if I start to panic, like if I break down and cry, everybody's going to break down and cry, and then that boat's going to fill up with water and we're going to sink. And it's like you've got this mentality of like the only way to get this ship back to shore, to get this project finished, to get my family through this situation, is to kind of play the comic and play the fool and kind of like keep everybody laughing, have a smile on my face so that everybody else can. It's like you're lightening the mood of the room, right? You're lifting the energy of everybody else up, but at the same time it's like it's a weight on you. So I want to say that what you're doing isn't wrong, because I think you're aware that you're the one keeping the mood high. You're the one keeping everybody else afloat, which is brilliant, right? It's like you are King of Cups saving the day in this situation. But you also have to recognize that you're going to burn out, right? There's only a certain amount of time that you're going to be able to. It's not healthy. It's not healthy to keep your feelings hidden like that. So it could be that, maybe one person, because this is a big group of people, I want to say this Three of Cups. Again, it's like your entire workplace or your entire family, your entire friendship group. It feels like a big ship full of people, right? Because you're aware of this effect that you have on other people. I remember that bottom reading, and I was saying it's like you're the comic, you're the clown, you keep the mood high. It's like everybody's happy when Leo walks into the room, because it's like, I was talking about this example of somebody that I work with where, we can all be kind of like struggling, it can be hectic in work, and this person they have that, the sun card vibe to them. Even when they're grumpy, right, they still, like, they walk into the room and everybody else is happier. So, like, maybe obviously you don't want to break down and cry in a room full of people, because it's like everybody's gonna, like, the mood of the room's gonna go down for everybody. But is it possible for you to maybe select one or two people who are quite emotionally mature, a good friend, a trusted family member, even a counsellor, right? Even somebody who's a stranger that you don't know but is in a position where they can provide that emotional support, a doctor, an advice line. Is there anyone that you can reach out to just to work through your emotions, just to talk it through? Because I think that you need that. I think you need that emotional release, all right? Because a card's been coming out a couple of times from this deck here, which is your advice deck. It's funny that Voyage is on the bottom there, right? Like, she's literally on a boat. And it's been saying you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you can save everybody else. So I think you have to do that. And I think you are emotionally coming to a point where you recognise that with the Nine of Cups. Because the Nine of Cups is independent happiness. The Nine of Cups is, I don't need anyone else to... But is that the problem? Is that the problem, Leo? I don't need anyone else to be happy. I can make myself happy. I want to say, just because you are capable of making yourself happy, just because you are not, I think because you're the King of Cups, right? You're looking after this whole community of people. I think you have got this attitude of, I'm emotionally mature, I'm emotionally stable, I can hold it together, I can make myself happy, I don't have to put my burdens on anyone else. But I want to say everybody deserves emotional support, right? Especially a King of Cups who gives so much. I want to say that that doesn't mean that you can't receive it. Like, I think it's great. What you're doing is great, right? Just don't burn out, right? Allow yourself. I think having the conception of what you need is important, but then also, like, admitting to yourself and that you need help and allowing yourself help. Okay, Leo's thoughts, please. The Magician. Yeah, you have that in I'm actually going to put that in the middle position. Ace of Swords and the Magician. You had the Magician very, very central and key to your last reading. And Judgment and a Ten of Pentacles here. This feels like you've got the most unbelievable blue eyes I've ever seen. Have you got blue eyes, Leo? Or are you attracted to somebody with blue eyes? Ace of Swords, the Magician, Ten of Pentacles, and Judgment. So you're thinking, you do have some sort of new idea or a new concept. This is a brand new piece of information, right? It's a brilliant idea. It's a revolutionary piece of information or a thought that feels like it's very inspiring, I want to say. Some kind of new idea or new information. You want to make it happen, so you're thinking, how do I make this happen? How do I take this from a thought into something that's real and practical and grounded? And this is followed by the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles is very grounded. It's very real. Pentacles tend to be something real, right? Something physical that you can hold on to, or a skill. You know, it's something practical. Earth energy, again, with all this earth energy coming through. So you've got an idea of what you want to make happen here. Now, again, this is like the Happy Families card, right? It's abundance, everything you could possibly need. It's like, I want to provide for my family. I want to create this stable work environment. I have an idea of how I can take these people that I care about and create this very solid, very safe, very dependable, happy situation here. It may be that you want to give a situation a second chance as well with the Judgment card, or you've figured out a way, or you're thinking, how do I revive this situation? How do we all get a second chance at financial stability? How do we all get a second chance at feeling secure? I've been getting a lot of union stuff through. It's funny because it was coming through in my last set of readings. I was getting this kind of, I remember saying unison. I got the word unison, which is a union in the UK, and Usdor as well. So I already had this union stuff starting to come through in my readings, and then I noticed after my readings had gone up, Santaro as well, who's one of my favourite readers, she was starting to say stuff, and I was like, she's getting the union stuff too. And then yesterday, I think it was in Gemini's reading, she was literally saying unions, and I was like, yeah, exactly, she's on the same. I love it when I get something and then they get it, because they're such big readers. It's like validation to me that, like, I'm not the only person getting this information, right? We're all on the same network here. So there's definitely union stuff coming through, and I've actually seen it on my timeline as well, people talking about unions and representation in I think it was the game industry. I think was it Blizzard? I'm not sure. So it could be that somebody is figuring out, perhaps, I'm in a certain work situation, I feel like we're being taken advantage of here. I can see how this plays out for another Leo friend that I've got as well. You know, especially like we were talking about working in retail and how, you know, people will take the mickey with hours, you know. So this isn't right. This isn't right, the way that we're treated, the way that I'm treated, the way my friends are treated, or, you know, I just feel like we don't have any stability. Everybody should have a roof over their head. Everybody should have a stable job. It's not okay to feel like your house, your job, whatever can be taken away in a moment, right? So it's not even like it necessarily affects you, but it could be affecting the people around you. It's like you want everybody to feel safe and secure and stable, right? You want everybody to have a reliable income, or, you know, a reliable source of food, a reliable source of money. It's like, how do we make this situation better for everybody? It's kind of got this attitude of, well, I'm okay, right? I'm emotionally able to deal with whatever happens here, but what about my friends? What about my family? What about my colleagues? How do I take this idea of, it's like you've had a dream or a vision of like what should be, and it's like, how do I make it happen? Because this is taking the thought into the reality, and it's coming here with like taking something up a notch, making something better, making something, improving a situation. So improving a work situation, improving a family. This is your emotions, lots of cups there. Whatever you're doing it from love, right? You're doing it from compassion. You're doing it because you care. Sometimes as well, what I find with Leos and with these kind of characters of, you know, I mentioned like Robbie Williams and Robin Williams, a lot of the time, some of the most compassionate people, some of the most how do I phrase this? I think sometimes people who are sometimes dealing with mental health issues like depression and anxiety and stress tend to feel a lot more. They tend to be, not always, I don't want to stereotype in any sort of way, and if you feel differently then absolutely, but what I'm picking up on is this energy of somebody who is extremely sensitive to the people around them and to the community around them, to the world around them. And the reason why sometimes they can get quite low and quite dark is because they're so sensitive to what's going on in the world and, you know, a sense of right and wrong. So I want to say whatever's happening here is coming from a sense of this isn't right. I want to do the honourable thing. I want to, you know, it's compassion. But it can, I think it can wear you down sometimes, you know, to see things that aren't okay. So yeah, you've got this sense of, I'm good, I can deal with this, I can take a lot of weight on my shoulders here, but what about everybody else? So there you go, Leo, you're being the king, right? You're being the lion heart. Oh, lovely Leos. And this is why, I honestly, don't tell the others, but you are one of my favourite signs, because that big lion heart of yours, I just keep hearing compassion. There you are. So in your reality, in your physical 3D reality, what you're actually dealing with, so not emotions, not mental, like what is showing up in your world, like what is actually going on, like action wise for you. You've got 10 of Wands, you've got heavy burdens, you've got a lot of baggage, but you are coming to the end of a journey right here. So you've probably been in wounded warrior energy for a long time. You've probably been fighting a long drawn out battle of some kind, and a huge amount of responsibility on your shoulders, a huge amount of weight that you're carrying. Feels like you're there carrying everybody else's luggage, right? Emotional baggage. It's like you're shouldering that for everybody. But the 10 of Wands is a sign that you're almost home. You're almost at the end of some kind of long journey. Like you're almost at a place where you can put those burdens down and rest. And you need rest. I want to go back to the angel guidance here. You need rest. You need to make sure you're eating well. You need to make sure you're getting enough rest. You need to make sure that you've got the positive health benefits of the natural world, that you're utilizing that. But you're here with the 7 of Cups as well, so it's like you're at the end of the journey, but all of a sudden you've got choices or you've got options, and you don't know where. It's like you don't know which choice to make, you don't know which path to choose, you don't know which option to take. I'm getting this real reluctance as well to move away from some kind of friendship network, or there's people here who are supportive, right? There's people here who cheer you on. It's like you're this leader to them, and so therefore they support you in return, right? So I think some of the burden here, some of the responsibility that you're facing is that you're in some kind of position here as this King of Cups and the Magician here to make something happen, where you're making some kind of decision that's going to affect the people that you care about, right? There's the people that rely on you. It's not just you here. So yeah, you're making a choice, and there's a lot of emotion behind it, and it's going to affect other people. You're going to make a logical choice. So you're going from this King of Cups in your emotions to this King of Swords in your thoughts. Now, don't worry if you're she, he, they. It doesn't really matter. This is showing up as your energy. So, you know, anyone can be in King of Swords energy. The King of Swords is very rational. They think long and hard before they make a decision. So you're not rushing into a decision here. You have choices to make. You're not rushing into it. You're trying to make a logical choice. You may have to cut some ties here. You may have to let some people go. Perhaps this is why you're finding it difficult to make the decision if you're hiring and firing people. You're trying to, here in your physical environment, strength as well there. It's almost like, now it may not be this exact scenario for everybody, but I'm going to give you the example that they're kind of giving me. So take it as a metaphor. It may apply in a different way to you, but it's this energy of somebody who has to, like, you know, make a decision. We need to, you know, is this person, are we going to continue the contract? Is their contract going to end? Do we have to fire this person? So in your thoughts here, you're thinking about everybody else's financial security, especially at Christmas time, right? It's like you're thinking about, are these people going to be able to, it's like, how do we keep the business running? How do we keep this ship afloat? How do we keep the business running financially while also still continuing to care about the people who you know, row the ship, who stoke the fires? Because you're seeing it as a whole, you're seeing the ship as like a whole thing, but it's like you have this decision to make, because it's like, well, we have to let some people go, otherwise the ship's going to be too heavy, the ship's going to sink. There's only so long you can keep this afloat. So it's like you have to make, it's like having to make cuts. Either you have to make cuts to the funding of a certain part of the workplace, or, you know, it could be family as well, like your house, your home. Like, okay, the electricity bill is going to get really high. How do we reduce it? Okay, let's only, like, let's not use lights, right? If you don't need the light on, you turn the light off. Okay, we only have one piece of technology on at any one time. We all watch the same movie instead of all going off into separate rooms and having different TVs on. So it's this how do we save money? How do we tighten our belts? How do we keep the whole ship afloat? Do I have to make any tough decisions here? And having to have, it's like, because it's emotionally painful for you to do that, but it's like having the strength to do it. So it does feel like, because you're going from a group environment here to, this is independence, but then this is not. This is you on your own, emotionally happy on your own, and this is financial dependence or cooperation with other people. So there's still other people involved. You are making yourself happy. You may have to make some sort of cuts. Weighing up your options. Putting a lot of thought into this. But I want to get a clarifier on that King of Swords, because Two of Wands. You've got a really difficult choice to make here. The Two of Wands in reverse is like an impossible choice. Or you don't have any options. Give me a clarifier, please. Wounded, there's the Wounded Warrior, Nine of Wands, which leads to the Ten of Wands. So what it feels like is happening here is that you're being put into a position like this king position, right? This emperor position, where it's like, all right, I need to make decisions here. I need to make decisions that affect a lot of people and their livelihoods, right? Their quality of life. But there is no decision to make. At the end of the day, after you've thought really long and hard and logically about this, and you've been faced with a lot of different, it's like having a lot of doors that you could go through, but not knowing what's behind the doors. So trying to project and trying to think it through. And in the end, after this entire thinking process, there's really no choice, because the only choice is your heart, right? It's your lion heart. The Ace of Cups is unconditional love. So at the end of the day, you're making an emotional choice that makes you happy and makes you be able to live with yourself, right? So it's like, this energy of, right, you've been, you know, you're in a position where you have to let someone go. You have to make cuts. You have to tell that person, you have to look in their eyes, knowing that they've got a family, and say, you're fired. But you can't live with yourself if you do that. You know it's not right, right? You know it's not right. It doesn't sit right with your soul, right? So this is you saying, we're going to figure this out. We're going to keep this ship afloat, and we're going to keep everybody on board. It's like, I don't feel like you're giving up your throne, right? I don't think you're saying, I'm going to be the one to go. You may self-sacrifice an aspect of your own income, perhaps. It could be like, okay, I'm not going to take my bonus, especially if you are high up in a company. It's like, I'm not going to take my Christmas bonus because that's going to pay for somebody's, you know, entire salary. So I'll give up my bonus and this person can stay employed. So it's like you're figuring out, you know, in that way of being like, okay, so we turn the telly off, we turn the lights off, you know, we only have the heating on in this room. You've got this energy of, okay, where can we save money somewhere else? Or where can we find the money to fund this person so I don't have to let them go? Because I can't do that. It doesn't sit right with me. And that is a true king. That is a true leader, to say, I'm not going to make a choice that I'm uncomfortable with. You know, the King of Swords can. The King of Swords is very logical. The King of Swords is, this doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense to keep this person on board and the whole ship go down. You know, but at the end of the day, after this thinking process, you choose love. You choose your heart. You choose your own emotional well-being and what sits right with you, whatever that is. And it might be that you have to let one person go, put them on the raft and set them sail so that the whole ship can continue. But it sits right with you. Whatever choice you're making is your soul choice, right? It's your heart at the end of the day. It's like your values, your integrity, you know, what matters to you. And what matters to you is all these other people. That's what you're not willing to compromise your morals, whatever that means. And it's a brave choice, right? Because I feel like you could be standing up to a higher power. You could be making a decision that, you know, maybe you feel financial pressure to make a different decision, but, you know, that's not what this king does, I want to say. Ooh, Lioness, love it. And expectations. Oh, and witch. So don't seek anyone else's approval. This is what I'm saying, right? You're not, right? Look at you. And she's leaping away from the money, right? You're not leaping away from the money towards emotional happiness, towards connection, towards, you know, she's leaping forward with her heart space. And it's like, that doesn't even factor in. The money isn't even a factor here. Don't seek anyone else's approval, right? You're not. Which, justice is coming. So if you feel like something's been unfair, I feel like the situation will be made right, right? There's karma playing out here, especially because that's another thing as well. That's another thing factoring into the choice. It's like, if I do something here that feels like it's based on financial reasons and not, it feels ruthless, you're not going to do it, because it's like, that's bad karma, that's going to come back at me. But if I do something based on my heart choice, if I do something compassionate here, that's going to return good karma to me, because that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, the good king rules because the people love them, right? A tyrant is not loved. A tyrant controls. A tyrant oppresses. And how easily is a tyrant toppled when there's an uprising? That's not true power. That's false power. That's control. True power comes from the heart. A true leader rules from the heart because the people love them. The people support them. So if you make choices based on the heart for the people, showing them compassion and love, I'm not saying you're literally a king, but you get the gist. They'll support you back, right? They'll be there for you. They'll say, we want to keep this good king. We don't want the harsh, cold king here who chops our heads off to save money so he doesn't have to feed us. We want the king who's willing to, you know, make a tough decision because of his love for us, right? So yeah. Tree, let them go. All right, whatever that means to you. Maybe somebody wants to leave the boat. I don't know. But this is the card, this is the main card I'm going to read for you, because it's your card, Lioness. You've earned all your stripes. Notice as well these, I just want to show you the imagery here as well. Like I don't know if it's like big fish in a small pond or small fish in a big pond, or if this is like, I don't know what this kind of mermaid or dolphin or whale in the ocean is symbolizing for you, but there seems to be something with that. Lioness, you've earned all your stripes. Really glad I redid your reading, because this is much clearer. I understand this much better. You've earned all your stripes. Naturally, sometimes with growth comes a little scarring. You've come incredibly far, and you should be proud of the person you've become. Think of your scars not as a reminder of the pain you've had to endure in the past, but as proof you can survive anything. What a powerful reading. Teenage Dirtbag turned into the best king, because the best king is a compassionate king. The best king has a lion heart, because you understand what it's like to be lower down the food chain, right? You were once a cub, you know, you had to fight to get to the top of that pride, and now you remember what it was like to be the small fish in the big pond, right? So you're willing to emotionally invest in the small fish and build yourself a pride to be proud of. Leos, fabulous reading. Love it for you. Do take care of yourselves. Go and find yourself a Leo boss. I've had Leo bosses, and perhaps not the best boss in terms of like maybe like the most skilled or the most logical, but definitely a boss that, you know, bosses that I have loved working for, bosses that I have wanted to work hard for. Yeah, and definitely that feeling of we're part of a team here, you know. So yeah, don't compare yourself to others. You don't have to be like the others. You don't have to be the ruthless King of Swords, I want to say. Ruling with that lion heart is the best way forward for you. All right, take care of yourselves, take care of your pride, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.